Hi, this is Zach here with the US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 15th of May. Starting off with the S&P, where we are heading towards the record highs there, towards 6150. Best case is 6315, which is a resistance line projection from last summer. And we're looking at that while we're above a recent broken March resistance of 5780, so quite a simple situation there. On the downside, the worst probably is what would be a rug pull down towards the 50-day line, 55.52. But we do have support above that around 5700 and the floor of the latest gap. Upside, in terms of the a retest of the record area, probably sometime for June rather than sometime in May, just because we have rebounded so far and so fast. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here situation is that of trying to hold on to the best of the recent gains, and in a way looking rather better, or slightly better than the S&P is. 22,100, the old resistance area. We're looking for up to that resistance line projection from last June as high as 22,700 by the end of next month, while we remain above the top of the latest gap there, 20,600 or so. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with A.K.A, and here, decent picture in the sense that we've got this broadening triangle base. We've gapped up back above the old support there from March around the $11 mark and the 50-day moving average. And while we're above that 50-day line, looking for the top of the triangle there, $22, as soon as the end of next month, or even sooner actually. Moving along to Allurion, and here, obviously, it's not been a great run on the left-hand side of the chart, but the right-hand side of the chart starting to look a little bit better. We're back above the 50-day moving average, $2.59. We've gapped up as well, top of the rising trend channel base, $4.42, which is what we're looking for by the end of next month. And again, hopefully that'll be a bit sooner. We've got an uptrend line in the RSI window as well, which gives us extra confidence, along with the way that the shares have gapped up back above the 50-day line. Onto a situation which looks quite encouraging, which is Exelixis, and here you can see that we've got the shares gapping through recent resistance, so through $40. Above $40, a little bit more on the upside, up to the top of that channel there, as high as $49, hopefully by the end of this month. Stock with an interesting name, let's put it that way, which comes in the form of European Wax Center. Sounds very glamorous. We've got a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down to new lows and then gapping up twice in the recent past through the 50-day line, $3.85. Above the floor of the recent gap there, around $4.40, looking for the top of that rising trend channel base as high as $8.60 by the end of next month. Next up is GCT, and here we've got another rising trend channel base. That's been in place since November. At least in terms of the trend, the resistance line there. Top of the channel there at $3.25. We're looking for that while we remain above recent resistance, around $1.85. So above that, then hoping for $3.20 plus on GCT. Stock we've looked at recently, Innovative Eyewear, is next, and here got a falling trend channel, which the top of which is at $3.80. Above that, looking for as high as $5.90 by the end of next month. The proviso is that we remain above the recent resistance around the $2.08 level, so let's call it $2, above $2, looking for $5.70 plus on that situation. But a bit of work to be done. Ideally, we stay above that 50-day line and keep staying above it. On to one of the better rises of the past year, which is Nutex, and here you can see that the previous target was the top of that rising trend channel from back in June last year, around the $81, $82 level. Obviously, we've blown the doors off on that. Steeper acceleration now, and a channel there since the end of January, top of the channel there, up to $207, which we are looking for while we're above recent broken resistance of $138. Ideally, we stay above the old resistance there from last month at $150 rather, but that could be asking just a little bit too much. On to another situation which hopefully will have legs, Newegg, and here we've broken through the 50-day line, U-shaped turnaround, so that gives us confidence. And top of that rising trend channel base heading for $12. Hopefully we'll get that by the end of this month, while we remain above recent resistance and the floor of the recent gap, $6.25. Moving along, and the next situation is Septerna, and here a bear trap island reversal, so gapping down back in February and gapping up now. We do have a wall of resistance there around $11.30, but at end of day close above that, and we could be heading back up towards the old support on the way down, $16 by the end of next month. But probably the key here is wait for that break back above the old support, which has now become new resistance. Moving along to Swvl, and here you see a rising trend channel base, clearly broken through the 50-day line and recent neckline resistance, so call that $3.60. Above that, we're looking for the top of that rising trend channel base from November. That's heading for $8, and we're looking for that by the end of next month or even sooner. The next one on the list is Veea, and here we've got a rising trend channel base. We've broken through the 50-day moving average earlier this week. That's also rising now, which is normally a good sign, especially when it's near the lows, and looking for the top of the channel there, size $4.80 by the end of next month, while we're above the old support from November, which is around the $2.15 mark. That would be very nice. Otherwise, one would have to allow down to the old resistance, say $2, if you are less aggressive. Finishing off with a stock which we've never looked at before, and it is Planet Image. Here you can see that another rising trend channel base. A lot of stocks sort of coming to life at the moment. Recent resistance around the $1.70 level above that, looking for the top of the range at the top of that rising trend channel, $4.80 by the end of next month. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.